Okay, here in the book, it's very clearly mentioned that B is born on the 12th of June 1985. She is a clear Gemini. And I agree. The multifaceted personality,
Right.
the duplicity and the switch that she can make, I think that tracks for
Mm-hmm.
Gemini. And also she has this habit, this way of rebranding herself. I think that's also a very Geminian quality because you need to be very flexible, adaptable, observant, and absorb a lot of knowledge in order to either impersonate someone or rebrand yourself.
Do you think the author did that on purpose?
I think so. There
I
had to
hope
be
so. That's perfect.
because it's so specifically mentioned, like her date, her month, her year. The entire thing is mentioned. We could actually pull up a birth chart for her. It could be a little intentional by the author. Okay, Bunch I think is clearly a Scorpio because you see her becoming more hesitant in interacting with B, and she starts becoming aware of the way she's being impersonated. And I think Scorpions are able to instinctually understand when they are being used versus when they are not being
Yeah.
used. And she starts calling out B on this her method of, copying everything that was Blanche's life and then incorporating it into her business. So yeah, Blanche is a Scorpio. Definitely.
I love that, and I agree because we can definitely, and I would say maybe you might agree, Scorpio moons as well. We can read between the lines.
Yeah,
Those of us who are perceptive enough. Yeah.
definitely. And Eddie is definitely a Pisces through and through. He's a slippery fish.
Pisces man. Oh.
Yeah, he's a slippery fish. He can be very easily influenced because if you think about it, he should have gone, if he had a very, like, how do I say, if he had a very straight moral compass, it would be obvious to go to the police authorities and be shocked that B killed Blanche. But he kind of nurses her secret and he kind of babysits her as well in the panic room. So I think the ability to be so easily influenced, that makes Eddie very clearly a Pisces. And he's a little bit of a
That's
romantic.
perfect.
He's a little bit of a romantic as well because it's hard for him to kill someone who he has associated with the idea of love, the ideology of what
Yeah.
love means. So yeah, he's a definite
Yeah, and
Pisces.
we think that that's Libra men, which, ugh, yes, but can go from woman to woman. But Pisces men are also like that's the stereotype, and I've kind of experienced that a little bit as well. I mean, they can easily just go. Now, not all Pisces men, but I would say most Pisces men with strong Pisces, either sun or strong Pisces placements, except not Pisces rising. They can meld and mold themselves, and they can go from like one to the other, and just without looking back. Or then eventually they come back. Oh, I miss you. Oh, because they want that attention.
Yeah. And I think there is this quality of changing your personality, which I think is similar between Geminis and Pisceans in a way. There's some kind of a, I think, parallel over there.
Well, do you know what the common thread you have there is? And I was gonna say this for the signs.
No, no, go ahead.
Mutable. They're mutable
Oh,
signs.
yeah.
The top three characters in this, I think, because I was gonna say they're all Geminis. Not that we love Geminis. It's just especially Gemini sons.
You guys are
You
so
guys have a
fun.
reputation.
Yeah, they
So,
take
but they're
everything
they're
for fun.
adaptable.
Yeah.
They're adaptable. But then I was gonna say, with you saying he's a Pisces, I do agree. I feel like Jane has to be a mutable sign as well, a mutable sun sign.
I don't know why for Jane, for some
Hmm.
reason for Jane, I was thinking more of a Cancer. And I am thinking that because Eddie tells Jane that he wants to be with her because she is so different from B. So now you take two
True.
signs which are neighbors. Geminis come first and then the month for Cancer starts. I think he was seeing some sort of a difference which was less cold and calculative but more in the nature of, I mean, if she was in a safe environment, I think she could be a very nurturing person. I think she would want to have a home, she would want to She would enjoy doing homely activities. She would bond deeply with people. It's just that she's never been given the opportunity. But the caginess of being a crab, the going
Yeah.
inwards and into your shell when you don't feel safe, I think that's
Hmm.
very Cancerian in nature. And I think for most of her life, she's always been in that inward shell. She hasn't really been able to be the most evolved version of a Cancer. But and also if you see her name Jane, it actually belonged to a dead girl who was her best friend. And she even says that she was with her best friend while she was dying, and she like died in her arms. I think that is something a Cancer
Hmm.
would have the resilience to do. Like not run away from it or not get scared of it, but actually be with
Hmm.
the person in their last moments. And I think that's a very that could be a very Cancerian
Yeah,
quality.
I get it, but she probably has a Gemini moon.
Yeah, she has a
She's
Gemini.
got something in there that, or some in her
Mm.
personal planets. You're good at this. It's hard for me. It's so funny. It's like sometimes it's hard for me with book characters, and I'm better with people. But you should be like an astrologist to the fictional characters, or like like authors can come to you. You are a consultant.
Yeah,
You should be like an astrologer
I'll
consultant to
flesh out the
writers.
personality of each character, and then they can take different
Yeah,
directions.
exactly. That's so good. That's why I was gonna let you take this. That's why I was like, oh, they're all Geminis. They're all two-faced and whatever. We still love you. Because I like to hear yours. Yours are way better. But no, I totally agree. I absolutely have you have very good arguments. What about Trip?
Trip Ingram is a typical Cancer man. Cancer sun man.
I mean, he could be a Taurus too. I think he's kind of lazy and
But he doesn't have the style for
I
a
don't know.
Taurus. And he's a
Not all
drunk.
Tauruses have styles.
No, he's kind of an
Uh,
alcoholic. I would believe a Cancerian would become an alcoholic
yeah,
before a Taurus. I think so.
yeah. That's the water signs.
Yeah.
Yeah, the water signs would
Also,
be, especially Cancer and Pisces.
he's the poster child of a grieving widower. He, like the way he's described, the neighborhood Stepford wives, they say that he is completely off and he's completely switched off after Blanche died. So I think that much emotionality to come out, you will have to be a Cancer man and then become an alcoholic.
That's a great argument. Yep. I love it. I love, and the rest of them we don't care. Like they're
We
all
don't care.
background, the few background characters.